My parents hadn't reached out in 5 years, not for my birthday, not when I had my daughter. Always too busy dealing with my 3 siblings who were still living at home in their 40s. My aunt posted a selfie from my Cancun wedding at the 12-0 a night resort I booked for 20 guests. She was the only family member who showed up. Immediately, my dad texted, "Saw you got married. We would have come if you'd given us more notice and paid for our flights." I stared at my phone screen. Standing in the resort lobby while my new husband checked us into our honeymoon suite, the marble floors gleamed under crystal chandeliers and mariachi music drifted from the beachfront restaurant. My 3-year-old daughter Maya was asleep in Aunt Patricia's arms, exhausted from being our flower girl. 20 of my closest friends were laughing at the bar, celebrating the most perfect day of my life, and my father's text message contained exactly 16 words after 5 years of silence. I didn't cry. I didn't feel the familiar ache of rejection that had defined my first 27 years. Instead, I felt something cold and sharp crystallize in my chest. I took a screenshot of the text and calmly replied, "The invitations went out 6 months ago. Aunt Patricia received hers just fine." I watched the 3 dots appear, disappear, then appear again. My mother's text came next. "We never got an invitation. Besides, Derek just lost another job and needs help with rent. Travis's car broke down again. Amber's going through a hard time. You know how it is." I knew exactly how it was. I had known my entire life. My husband approached with our room keys, took one look at my face, and wrapped his arm around my waist. "Your parents?" he asked quietly. I showed him the text. His jaw tightened. "You okay?" I looked around at the people who had actually shown up for me. My aunt, who had driven me to every after-school activity when I was a kid because my parents were too busy with my siblings' drama. My best friend since college who had helped me through every crisis. My coworkers who had become my chosen family. "I'm better than okay," I said. "I'm done." That text exchange should have been the end of it. But my parents had spent my entire childhood training me to feel guilty for existing, and they weren't going to stop just because I had finally built a life without them. Over the next week, while I was still in Cancun, my phone exploded with messages. My mother sent paragraph after paragraph about how hurt they were, how they had always supported me, how ungrateful I was being. My father called it typical Rebecca behavior, selfish and cold. Derek, Travis, and Amber all chimed in with their own versions of outrage, despite the fact that none of them had spoken to me in years either. The messages revealed something I had suspected, but never quite proven. My parents had told my siblings that I refused to invite them to my wedding. They painted me as the villain who had deliberately excluded the family. Never mind that I had sent formal invitations to their Eugene address, called twice to confirm receipt, and been met with my mother saying they were too busy to talk right now. Never mind that when I announced my pregnancy 4 years ago, my father had asked if I was sure about keeping it, because single mothers struggle. Never mind that when Maya was born, they sent a card 2 months late with a $20 bill inside and no visit. I saved every message. I backed them up to 3 separate cloud services. I documented dates, times, and exact wording. My husband, watching me work through this methodically instead of emotionally, asked what I was doing. Insurance, I told him. I didn't yet know what I was insuring against, but 32 years of being my parents' least favorite child had taught me to keep evidence. When we returned to Portland, I received a Facebook message from Derek. He had somehow found my profile despite me blocking him years ago. Later,